We're going to be getting started with part 2. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who we believe came in the person of Master Father Muhammad. We thank him for raising up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the living and exalted Christ. And we thank those two for leaving in our midst a divine warner and guide in the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan. It's in there. 3 names I would like to greet everybody with the greeting words of peace. We said in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. Man, today, well, let me start off with yesterday. Man, yesterday we listened to Dr. Myles Munroe speak about what we must do at the beginning of the year. So if you did not see that, I encourage you to go watch that. Go watch that from yesterday. Go ahead and watch that from yesterday. Really good message. A lot of takeaways. We talked about some scriptures. We talked about some practical steps, and of course, people was able to give their feedback about what stood out for them. But today we're going to talk about now how to write your vision. So if you haven't invited anybody today, I encourage you to invite somebody. Everybody, anybody who you know that are, not even if they just struggling, but even if it may be something, that one thing that's stated today that stands out to them that they need it, that takes them to the next level. So make sure you invite somebody to the class today. If you are new to the power call, after we get through with this, we're also going to dialogue about what stood out for us. So take notes, bullet points. And then at the end of the message, we're all going to dialogue about what stood out for us. So we're not going to waste no more time. That is the intro. So let me put it up on my screen. How to write your vision for life. All right, here we go.
Is your life like vision? And discipline is simply defined as self-imposed standards for the sake of a higher goal. Again, discipline is defined as self-imposed standards for the sake of a higher goal. So I'm talking now about self-discipline. All leaders have to have the quality of self-discipline. You are not a leader if you are not self-disciplined. Now, self-discipline implies that there are other discipline. In other words, discipline externally is considered other discipline. A leader doesn't need much discipline from the outside. They self-impose discipline on themselves. And that is what we call self-discipline. Now, the key to achieving your vision is discipline. And this scripture found in Proverbs 29, we read it early this week. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Blessed is the man who keeps the law. A little definition here of what that means. Where there is no vision, people throw off restraint. That's what that word perish means. It means to throw off self-control. In other words, where there is no revelation of the future, people throw off self-discipline. So the key to your life is finding a vision that imposes discipline on you. In essence, vision is the source of discipline. I'll explain discipline in a minute, what it means, how it works. Discipline is the root of leadership. It actually is the very nature that attracts people to you. A disciplined person naturally begins to attract people because people admire discipline in other people. That's why we go to see athletes perform. We really admire their discipline that they put themselves through. If you do the same thing as a person, people will then begin to believe what you say. Your very life of discipline creates trust. People trust a person who they perceive to be disciplined. This is why athletes also are used to promote and advertise and market products. People, they are selling the discipline of that athlete. Okay? Not their fame, but their discipline. We think it's a discipline. I mean, it's a fame. It's actually a discipline. We think that if we wear Nike shoes, we will jump like Mike. Okay? So the idea that they sold us was, if you want to be like Mike, now you know 180 pounds and some chitlins, you cannot be like Mike. But you still buy the Nike shoes because the idea is what you're wearing. So you are buying the discipline that he has in his life that produced the kind of professional athleticism that he is known for. And so you are really impacted by the discipline. We love to watch sports and not play it. Why? We admire those athletes because of their discipline. The same thing is true about you. If you remain consistent and disciplined in your life, you'll find people will come just to watch you. And they'll want to actually pay to watch you. They'll bring their offerings and their tithes to watch you do what you do. It's incredible. So discipline is powerful. And according to the Bible, discipline comes from vision. Vision. A man or woman without a clear vision for their lives lives a very loose life. But a man with a vision, they live a very narrow life. Very important. The disciplined people live very narrowly. When a man or woman has a vision, their life becomes very, very tight. Why? Because vision simplifies life. What do I mean by this? Again, it'll take a couple of days to teach this, but it's very important. When you capture a vision, it simplifies everything. Everything. Because vision controls all of your choices after that. Once you know where you're going, you also automatically know what roads won't take you there. You understand that statement? Yeah. So if you know what to do, you automatically know what you shouldn't do. Vision defines your what to do in life. Because vision gives you your address, your permanent address. It shows you your destination, where we get our word destiny from. Your destiny dictates your decisions. Write it down. Your destiny dictates your decisions. So life becomes simple. If someone offers you something and it doesn't collaborate in its unity with your vision, it's easy to say no. See, but without a vision, it's tough for you to refuse things. Life becomes complicated. Let's take another thought here and see if we can push this a little further. You were not born to do everything. Say amen. Boy, I'm so glad when the Lord told me that. I said, oh, thank you. The pressure is off. We somehow have this attitude that we have a lot of things to do in life. I disagree. I used to think so myself. You don't have a lot to do in life. Isn't that wonderful? When you study people who have been successful in their lives and eventually became influential, like Moses, and Joseph, Joshua, and David, Paul, Jesus, Abraham Lincoln, Abraham himself. I mean, all these people, you think their lives, they're very simple people. Very simple people. There's a term that is normally associated with them. Here's a term. This one thing I do. See, you got to get to the point where you're only living for one thing. And life becomes simple. People who discovered vision, they live longer. They live healthier. There's no stress. Stress comes from not knowing what to do. You remember the story of Martha and Mary. Jesus said something to Martha that changed my life. Let me talk about Martha for a couple of minutes. Martha's an interesting woman. Martha is like most of us. We live on assumptions, even of God. Martha had a visitation from God. He came to visit her house. Guess what she did? She assumed he was hungry. See, that's the problem. We think we know what God wants us to do. One thing you learn from this summit so far is that vision is from God. You don't tell him what you are going to do. You got to report to him, submit to him, and stay still until you are clear of the revelation. Because without that revelation, there is no self-discipline. Martha ended up cooking for God, and he wasn't hungry. And then she became angry because other people were not joining her in her busyness, which was not appropriate. In other words, she tried to get other people involved in things that was not God's will at the time. I wonder if you're doing that. And Martha proceeded to cook for God. And then she came to God and says, look, why don't other people come and help me? Send my sister to help me. Now the answer Jesus gave you must study. It was a leadership answer. He said, Martha, you are so busy about many things. Tell your neighbor, I think that's me. That's what your life is like. All of you who have known me for the past 20 years, you know that I haven't changed. I've grown, but I haven't changed. There's a difference between growing and changing. I grow in my knowledge and my experience and my experience, but I haven't changed. I am still the same guy with the same message. Same intent. That makes my life simple. He says, you're busy about so many things. You're trying to do everything. You're trying to be everybody and trying to be everything to everybody. And then he said to her, Martha, big words, only few things are necessary. Boy, that's a beauty, eh? He said, look, life is filled with a million questions every day and a million things to do. He said, but only few things really necessary to do in life. Let me ask you a question. Are the things you've done for the past 11 months in this year, were they necessary? Don't answer it, just think about it. You might be shocked at your answer. The question then is, what is necessary? How do you define necessary? It's answered in the Bible very clearly. It's easy to find what's necessary. Necessary, according to Paul, the apostle, is defined like this. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, he said, all things are permitted for me to do. I can do anything I want. He says, but not all things benefit me. Interesting. I don't care how old you are now, you're going to soon be dead. 70 years is so short, you ain't got time to make a mistake anymore. And if you're 40 years old, you are already over the 50% mark. So you better make sure you clear this thing quickly about what your vision is and define it, so you waste no more days. You're going to be dead soon. This is no time for experimentation. This is a time for intentional living. You've got to know where you're going now. This is too late to take detours and go through corners you ain't supposed to go through and wondering how to get there. You better know your destination from this mountain. When you leave here with your certificate tomorrow, you better have a clear idea. And that's why this session is important for you. Because you ain't getting no younger, see. He said, Martha, only few things are necessary in life. There's some people in your life who are not necessary. Some of you got the wrong company. And they've eaten up your time, wasting your time, eating with them and playing with them and watching TV with them and going to clubs with them and, going out to conferences with them and all this stuff and all this stuff. And God is saying, look, you're still not getting where you're supposed to get to. These people are distractions. Some of the books you have been buying are not necessary. Romance novels, magazines, fashion. I mean, they don't get you to your dream. You see, when you have a vision, it simplifies life. You can walk up to a bookstore shelf and know exactly what books not to buy. See, vision dictates everything. Matter of fact, let me just give you some indications of how it controls your power of choice. The statement here, I'm sure you know it well, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. You become a leader when you find a thing you're supposed to master. Everything that you do is supposed to be motivated by your vision. Everything. Vision is supposed to be the source of your human motivation. It simplifies your life. Do you know why most people are actually poor? I know why they're poor. Poverty, like we learned last night, it's not a problem. It's a result. Most people are poor because no one knows who they are. What do we mean by that? Vision helps you identify yourself before the people in the world. And because they know who you are, they know what to come to you for. Let me give you another statement, very important. This is so important. If you want to be successful, write this down, do not seek success. Seek to become a person of value. Again, if you want to be successful in life, do not seek success. Seek to become a person of value. In other words, write it this way, make yourself valuable and they'll pay for you. Make yourself valuable and people will pay for you. That is what we do with gold, silver. How about gasoline, water? Our society has made these things what? Valuable. So we do what? We pay a lot of money for them because we made them valuable. Well, make yourself just like gold. In other words, develop a gift in your life that has become so valuable to everybody else that they will pay you to perform it. Les Brown and I were chatting one day, and we became good friends over the past 10 years or so. And one day we were chatting, we were doing a conference together, and I was telling him about this invitation I got to go and speak to this company. And I said, how much should I request as a fee from this company? And he said, how much do you think you are worth to that company? I said, I don't know. I was just starting in that particular area of the business of public speaking. And I said, I don't know, maybe $4,000 or $5,000. He said, that's all you think you're worth? I said, they only want me to speak for an hour and a half. He said, that's what you think you're worth? I said, how much do you charge them for an hour and a half? He said, $25,000. Starting price. He said, if you charge them less than that, I'm ashamed of you. He said, you're better than me. And he was serious about it. So I filled out a contract and put $25,000. The check was in the mail the next day. Make yourself a person of value. Don't seek success. Let me give you another example of how it works. If someone had to think about something that reminded them of you, what would it be? That's a serious question. Because if they never think about you, that means you have never made yourself valuable. You have become a jack of too many trades. So you master nothing. You think of Tiger Woods, what do you think about? Michael Jordan, what do you think about? Barbara Streisand, what do you think about? Interesting. That's a good answer. Barbara Streisand, you think about two things, don't you? Acting and singing. See, she developed two gifts. What do they think about when they call your name? Your problem is they don't think about you at all. Become so good in an area that they can't ignore you. The world is filled with general people. You've come to this conference to cease being general. You're not in the general group anymore. You got to go home and decide for the next 20 years, I'm going to carve out a niche for myself that they're going to have to find me and can't ignore me. You ever heard Jesus talk? Boy, he talked with such confidence. I am the bread of life. If any man hunger, he made himself valuable to them. I am the water of life. If any man thirst, in other words, if anyone think of water, they think about me. He was trying to get across his value to them. So the crowds pressed him by the thousands to try and get to the water. Vision is what gives you this unique discovery about what you're supposed to master. So in my book on leadership, on my vision, I hope you get a copy of it and read it. It talks about the fact that sight is the ability to see things as they are, but vision is the capacity to see things as they could be. Now this next statement is important. Write it in bold letters, please. All true visions will be tested for authenticity. All true visions will be tested for authenticity. If your vision is truly from God, life will test it to prove that it's authentic. So get used to the idea of challenges if your vision is real. It doesn't come to stop your vision, it came to test it, to prove it that it's true, if it's real. If a vision is terminated by trials, it was probably not authentic. Sometimes your vision may take you to prison, but you got to go there with it and come out with it, like Nelson Mandela. Suppose Nelson really wasn't serious about destroying apartheid when he stood in that courtroom as a 24-year-old lawyer. Just suppose. He said, you know, this ain't worth it, man. I'm going to go back to my job, forget these people. You know, they can stand the oppression. I got me a good job. I'm out of the neighborhood where I was, out of the slums. I'm going to be a lawyer in South Africa, and I'm going to make me some money, forget my brethren. He could have said that. But his vision was so authentic to him. He said, I'd go to jail and lose my adult life for the sake of this vision. How much are you willing to pay to keep what you believe in? Mm-hmm. Vision is powerful. Write this down, please. True vision is discovered when you discover something you're supposed to die for. Visionary leaders ask the question, what kind of history do you dream of making? We're in this session to talk about how to write that vision down. But these are some preliminary thoughts you need to have in your mind. What is it that you'd like to do to write your part of history? In other words, do something that they cannot erase from history. And you don't need to do great, massive things. We keep thinking I do great. For example, the woman who poured the oil on the body of Jesus, you know what he said about her? I mean, that was such a simple act, eh? She took some perfume, which is believed to have been some embalming type fluid as well, because he said this was for my burial. The scent of that stuff was so strong they knew what it was. Very precious spices from northern Africa and Asia, and that was imported stuff. It's very expensive. She had a little vial of it, probably cost about $15,000 in our modern day currency. And she took that and rubbed it on the body of Jesus. And it was just a simple act, and that's it. She vanished out of history. Guess what? We're not even sure what her name is. It doesn't tell us what her name was. Now, some people assume it's Mary and all that, Mary Magdalene. You know, it doesn't quite say who it was. But yet Jesus said, what she has done will be spoken of all through history. See, some of you think you got to build a big building like Dr. Myles Munroe or build a school. No, there's some little things you were born to do that they can't get rid of. For example, there's no such thing as the gospel according to Andrew. Is that right? Yes. Amazing. He has no gospel. But yet it was Andrew who brought Jesus to Peter. Or Peter to Jesus, rather. In other words, he was the connector. There has to be an Andrew that history can't forget. You may never stand here where I am and be under the camera lights. That may not be your vision for being born. But whatever you're supposed to do is not supposed to be erased. That's why I am convinced you were not created just to make a living and pay bills. You were created to give life and make a difference with your gift somewhere. That's why you came to this place. Here are some things that vision will do when you discover it. 1, vision will choose your future. 2, vision will choose your friends. 3, vision will choose your library. 4, vision will choose your use of time. 5, vision will choose your use of energy. 6, vision will choose your movies that you waste your money on. 7, vision will choose your priorities in life. 8, vision will even choose your hobbies. Even the games you play should be related to your vision. I used to hate golf. Why? I didn't understand golf. You normally hate things you don't understand. And one day I was watching Bill Crosby on a show, and he was talking about golf, and he had me laughing, man. I was laughing. And Bill Crosby kept on saying, golf is a stupid game. Here these grown men out on this place hitting a little ball with a piece of stick, and then putting it in the hole, taking it back out, and then hit it again, and put it in the hole. He said, this is so stupid. And so I got my philosophy about golf from Bill Cosby. So one day, a friend of mine who's here today said, Doc, you want to go play some golf? I said, golf? That's a stupid game. I said, only grown men walk around with a piece of stick, hit this ball in the hole, take it out. He said, that's a stupid game. He said, look, you want to go at least and go on the course and let me, at least show you how to do it? I said, okay, no problem, let's go. I said, got a day off, let's go take it. So we rented this course, and we rented stuff, because, I don't like golf. So they rented me the stuff, and they rented even the shoes I had on. I had to rent the shoes. We went on the course, and he says, hit, and he showed me how to hit the thing. And it's beautiful. I loved it. The environment of this is wonderful. And I hit this thing. And when I hit that first ball, an anointing came upon me. See, some of you all don't know what we're talking about unless you've been... Anyone know what I'm talking about? Come on, you golfers. There's an anointing on the golf course that no one understands. I mean, I don't know whether I was, just born to be good at it. But when I took that thing and I swung, the ball went, woo! And I went, shoo. I say, my God. I said, let me try that again. Hit it again, bang! After the 4th time, I started feeling this thing. And then the guy says, look, it's time to go. I said, don't go yet, man. We got to just a couple more holes, man. We stayed out there for 4 hours. Next morning, I said, let's go. The next day, we went on the course. And he had someone with him. It was a movie star. I said, oh. He said, this is the guy who stars in New York Cops on TV. I said, I was introduced to this guy. I said, wow, I saw you on TV, that's right. He said, I saw you on TV too, man. We began to chat. We walked into the golf shop on the course. I saw another movie star, another athlete, all these folks who I knew in boxes. I said, my goodness, this is where everybody gathers. It's where the money is. I began to act like I was a golfer, you know. Yeah, this is life out here. I said, man, how'd you do yesterday? Didn't know what I was talking about at all, you know. My third time on the golf course was incredible. They took me out to Pebble Beach. Now, you golfers know about Pebble Beach, right? Tiger Woods, Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody out there. And I don't know anything about golf, nor Pebble Beach. I don't know what Pebble Beach is. So here we are going to the Pebble Beach, and I'm walking out there, and anybody who's anybody is there on the course. And I'm like, all the money's out here, billions of dollars on the course. And they say, this is where deals are made. I said, take me on the course every day. Mm-hmm. And the people I met out there are people who had my money. You can get it after I'm gone. See, some of you pastors ain't know what you're missing. You better go learn golf. The anointing is on the course, man. Your hobbies should be related to your vision. If you're going to play dominoes, play with rich people. Let your hobbies bring you into environments that expand your vision and your networks. Coming here, some of you came because there's a little vacation built into this. But look at what you are getting and meeting while you're here. And there are people in this group who got a lot of money. I mean, some of them I tell you, but you want to know who you're sitting next to. They got millions of dollars. But they ain't here for that. They here for some other reasons. And part of it may be for you just to get to know one another. What do you choose to play with? Even let your play be with a purpose. Everybody say play with purpose. It's important. You know, having your own aircraft is incredible too. It's a whole new world. Because you never go through the normal airports anymore. So all the private airports are only filled with people who own their planes. You know what that means? Use your imagination. So now I meet all these people who you never see. It's amazing. Vision chooses your hobbies. Next, big one. Vision chooses your diet. Number 12, vision chooses how you invest your money. 13, vision chooses how you write your to-do list. In other words, your to-do list should be created by your vision. What am I going to do today or this week? It will be things that will take me toward my vision. 14, vision chooses your attitude in life. If you know where you're going, it tells you how to think. 15, vision chooses your life. It tells you what kind of life you're supposed to end up living. And so it chooses what kind of lifestyle you begin living right now. Vision dictates everything. People who have no vision in their lives, they throw off restraint. They throw off self-control. They have no idea. 16, vision chooses your life's plan. It tells you what to plan for your life, how to plan your living. And next, vision dictates your values. Very important. We learned about this all week. When you know what you were born to do, it dictates how you should behave and what kind of standards you should live by. Right away, it changes everything. You still writing? I'm sorry. Then it's too late. Buy the tape and get the book. The impact of vision on leadership. Let's write this down, please. Vision clarifies purpose. It gives direction to the leader, and it empowers the leader beyond his assets or her assets. Very important. Vision clarifies purpose. In other words, purpose is what you were born to do. Vision gives it clarity. And then vision also empowers you to know the direction you're supposed to go in and your assets. It goes beyond your assets. In other words, vision does not allow you to live by what you don't have. It takes you beyond that. You begin to believe in things that you have no money to pay for. And that's important. Because if you keep living by what you don't have, you'll never rise above what you don't have. Vision literally creates resources. Vision attracts resources. People don't give to people, they give to vision. These things that you call government grants are literally resources that are looking for vision. When you go to get a grant, they don't say they can give you this to spend money. They always ask you, show me your vision first. What are we giving this money to? It's not to you, it's to the vision that you have. Vision attracts resources. And so it's important for you to really clarify your vision and make it so plain that anyone can see it like you see it. Wise people make choices that protect their vision. Very important. By the way, on the list I gave you earlier, it does say vision chooses your friends, huh? Let me tell you something about how important that is. Once you know where you want to go in life, it decides your company. I have very few friends in my life. Very few. And I don't want any more. I have millions of acquaintances. And I'm stuck with millions of brothers and sisters. They ain't my friends. You see, you're born with your brothers and sisters, but you choose your friends. And your friends are more important than your brothers and sisters. The Bible is very clear. It says a friend is closer than a brother. Let me define a friend for you. A friend is anyone who is willing, committed, and can help you get to your destiny. A friend is anyone who is willing and committed to help you get to your destiny. That's a friend. So if you want to be great, don't keep company with small-minded people. If you want to be a success, stay away from failures. Coming to this summit is a choice to keep company. You're keeping company with friends like us. You come here and you get your dream and your vision stimulated, fertilized, watered, encouraged. That's the right friendship you want. I always describe the example, to me, this is the greatest one I've discovered in life, is between Mary and Elizabeth. I talk about it all the time. You know, Mary was pregnant with the greatest gift in the world. And the angel said, if you want to have this baby, you got to go find Elizabeth. And when she found Elizabeth, it said when they looked at each other, the babies leaped. Don't be with anyone who doesn't make your baby leap. Your dream should be stimulated by your friends. Every time you're around them, they're supposed to impact you to keep going, to believe. Anyone who becomes a negative to your dream is what I call pollution. They are experts in abortion. Be careful. They are after your baby. Sometimes it's people of your own household. Sometimes your own family is bad company. You got to know that. That's why Mary had to leave Joseph's presence, because Joseph was not yet converted about this child. He was considering what? Putting her away. Abortion. There's some friends that you left home before you came here, and when you go down the mountain, you got to go down the other side. I am not kidding. Because what you heard here this week, you better protect it. You should have never come here if you want to keep your old friends. Write this down. You can outgrow your friends. A lot of you don't know how dangerous your company is. So let me give you another principle to work with. in your group that you call your friends, if you are the smartest one in the group, it's time to leave the group. If they always asking you the questions, you may think that's great. That's bad. You want to be in the company of friends who make you think, who expand you, who you ask questions to. People who ain't going nowhere want you to go with them. That's why they don't want you to leave the group. Because folks who ain't doing nothing want you to do it with them. So they say, oh, you're going to join that other group, huh? You're going to abandon us, huh? Absolutely yes. There are some friends who I grew up with right here in this island. I'm talking about 40 years ago. And they are still sitting under the same tree, playing on the same domino board with the same dominoes. I can still find them. And you got friends like that too? Vision chooses your friends. Vision is the best next thing to time travel. I like that, man. I tell you, that's great. You know, when you have a vision, that means you are spacey. Always spaced out. It's great to be spaced out because Earth is too dangerous to live on. Vision is seeing the future before it comes into being. And here's what vision means. Vision means you expect more of your world than what you see. Vision means you take bold steps of faith. Vision is a venture out with risk-taking courage. Vision means to dare to hope for something beyond yourself. Vision is critical. Boy, I could almost hear in my spirit some of you all taking some good notes. And when I hear this again, this is going to sound just like yours. You're going to teach this, huh? At least tell them you got it from the summit. At least, you know, you don't got to call no names or anything. Just say, I got it from a summit I was at. Vision is so critical. It literally makes you believe in a better world. It becomes more real. And I believe what we heard in the last two sessions we had here was so deep. I was taking notes like crazy because what we heard was so critical. And Dr. Chris was talking about the subconscious mind. And then Dr. Raphael Messiah was talking about the subconscious mind. It's so important. I was sharing with one of my colleagues when he was teaching. I said, do you realize what he just said? That your body and what you show us is fake. Your real self is your subconscious self. So if nothing gets into your subconscious self, it's not real yet. That was a powerful thing. That's why the Bible said, let these things sink down into your heart. Get it into your subconscious mind. Then it becomes real. All right. Vision is unlimited sight. That's a Myles Munroe quote. So make sure I give him my name on that, eh? It's unlimited. Ability to see without limit. The power to do that. All right. A couple more comments and then we'll look at this, the system of writing your vision down. The vision you have for your life creates consequences and affects how you spend your time and your resources. What does that mean? It means that a strong vision inspires passion. This passion transforms and controls your life, and vision is the source of that discipline that life creates. Without vision, sight has no hope. And therefore, when you have vision, you can always live in the midst of difficulty with a good attitude. A good attitude. The greatest leaders in the present but focus intently on the future are the ones who win. Living in the present is fine, but don't put your focus there. It's too much depression. Be an agent of hope. Moving too slow. All right. Here we go. Here are the 10 components of writing a vision. I give you a chance to ask some questions in the last 5 minutes, okay? Number 1, a vision should be clear and simple. When you're writing a vision down, please do not be afraid if you're writing many pages. Now let me just explain this to you. The process I sometimes take my classes through in training to write vision, especially when I'm dealing with corporate companies, I tell them, I said, look, first you got to do is go find a quiet place. Get away from everybody. Take no music with you. Get away from television. Get away from all distractions. Go on the beach or go in the bush. Because in order for you to hear your insides, you got to get rid of distractions on the outsides. If you study the Bible carefully, the characters in Scripture, most of them received their vision for their lives when they were out in the hills somewhere. Moses used to live in Egypt, remember? That was big civilization, big city time. For 40 years, God didn't show him anything. But now he's stuck in the back of the desert as a fugitive, with sheep who can't talk to him, no trees, barren land. And God says, I think I got him now. David, stuck out there in the hills with them sheep, little harp, nothing to do all day while the sheep are eating, just kind of sitting down there worshiping God. Gets a vision. Joseph, out there in the back of the hills, no big city lights, no shopping centers, no malls, out there by himself. God shows him his dream. The reason why you can't see is because you're looking too much. Your heart cannot see because your eyes has too many distractions. If you're going to write your vision, you got to first capture it. And you capture it by getting positioned in a certain way where you can hear what God has been saying all these years. Let me just stress here that your vision is not outside of you. God hid your future where you can't miss it. You've been told by religion, go and find God's will. And so for the past 30 years, you've been going from this prophet to this meeting to that meeting, this conference to that conference, this crusade, this bishop, that bishop. You've been trying to find it. Some of you even went to, I want to say it, astrology. Call me now. I mean, you went all kind of stuff to try and find why you was born, and God is saying, this is stupid. There's a book out there, 3 books out there. I want to recommend you buy them. 3 books on potential. Please buy all 3 of them and read them in succession. The first one is Understanding Your Potential. Read that one first, Understanding Your Potential. Then read number 2, Releasing Your Potential. Then number 3, Maximizing Your Potential. Why? I spent 30 years studying this thing. And I discovered life is very simple. Simple. Life is simple. God hid everything that a thing's supposed to become in itself. So your future is not ahead of you. It's trapped on the inside. A forest is not ahead of the seed. It's in the seed. Your future is in you, been there all along, but there's too much noise. So as you get home, clink, remote on. In the car, boom, 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 boom. As soon as you come out of the car, friends, yap, 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 yap. God is saying, man, this is a lot of noise for the last 50 years. I can't even get to this person. How did God get to talk to Abraham? God says, leave your home. Let's talk in the mountain. See, the reason why you can't discover what you were born to do is because you don't even make time to discover it. Sometimes that's why God would allow you to get sick and drop you in the hospital for a couple of weeks on your bed. And then you finally hear God's voice for your life. Because you don't take no time. And by the way, please get that book on prayer. It's very important. Because Did I lose that? In the name of Jesus. Because it is important for you to understand that God doesn't play cat and mouse games with us. He wants you to know what you were born to do. So you got to write it down. You have to write it down. It might be the plug. Now, this book on prayer. Oh, you got one here. The book on prayer. Write this down, please. Write this down. It's going to be very shocking for some of you, but please write it down. Meditation, write it down. Meditation is the most important aspect of prayer. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Most of you never meditate. Never. You talk too much in prayer. You never hear from God while you're talking. And 99% of your prayer is you talking. And when you finish talking, as far as you're concerned, the exercise is over. So you leave. Please buy this book. Let me tell you, your dream is never revealed to you while you're talking. And we think prayer is talking. May God have mercy on us. I want you to go back home changed. Are you? I said, are you? When you go to pray again, please pray 10 minutes and sit for 60. And just listen. You'll be amazed how loud he speaks. Finally, he gets to talk. Meditation. Prayer is you talking. Meditation is you listening. Suppose you and I have a conversation. You come to see me to ask for some things. You tell me everything and then don't wait for me to even tell you what I want to do. You just leave. That's stupid, isn't it? We do it to God all the time. And God goes and say, wait, don't go. I didn't answer you yet. Where you going? Wait. And you're gone. You think you already did your prayer time. See? And you keep asking God, how come I'm not hearing from you? How come I'm not getting any direction from you? God's saying, because you don't wait for the directions. You give me instructions. Is this good? Yeah. Dangerous stuff, eh? You must know where you came from. Now, am I lost? God forgive you. Okay. Anyhow, everything I know is already downloaded in me because it came out of me. All right. Number 2. Write all of your desires on paper. All of them. Now, this is important. You might end up with 10 pages. Don't be alarmed. We're not ready for simplification yet. Write all your desires down. Think about everything you would desire to do before you die and just put it on paper. It may end up being 10 pages. I mean, my own was about maybe 8 or 9 pages when I worked with this as a teenager. Don't panic. You're getting out your desires. The Bible says, I will give you the desires of your heart. But he says what? You got to trust me first, eh? Trust in him means what? You trust in what you're hearing. And then he will give you what? The desires of your... Point at your heart. Gotcha. He's talking about the mind. In other words, all these things you've been thinking about and ignoring for the last 40, 50 years has been the voice of God. You know, let me give you something very important. The voice of God is so simple, we ignore it because it's not sophisticated enough. You ever heard quote-unquote men of God talk like this? Quote-unquote men of God. The Lord spoke to me last week and said, and then it made you feel bad, right? I mean, you're sitting there going, How come he never speaks to me? Okay, and you begin to feel like these are very super spiritual people. So let me just destroy all the stuff you think about them. All they meant was, I had an idea. Whether it's Benny Hinn, or Copeland, or Hagen, or Oral, what they're simply saying is, I had an idea that wouldn't go away. Well, then if that's the case, then God's been speaking to you for a long time. Don't mystify this thing. Your vision is the thoughts that won't leave you. Your vision is the dream that keeps coming back for 30, 40 years. It started when you were 10. Your vision is the desire for you to do something that keeps coming back. It's your deepest desire. I'm not talking about desire for house and car. I'm talking about the desire to change a situation in your world. It's there. I know you've been feeling it. That's why I told you that your purpose in life is the thing that makes you angry. It's the thing that you keep seeing and you get mad. No one else gets mad at it, just you. Whatever makes you angry, you were born to solve. Start writing that down. Write down what you feel is a solution to the thing that makes you angry. Because those thoughts, I remember reading this as a young teenager in the book of Psalm. It says, the thoughts of a righteous man are always right. I couldn't believe that when I read that. Because I was taught by the church, do not trust your thoughts. The thoughts of a righteous man are right. Righteous means what? Properly aligned with God. That's why I say you trust in the Lord. Get yourself aligned properly, and then He will give you whatever comes out of your heart when you're in that alignment. The desires that you have. That's why you came to this summit. There's some desires in your heart that you want to accomplish. And they're being refined here. You go back to your hotel room in the nights and you begin to think. Look at the window, out of the ocean, you begin to think, my God, what am I doing in this place? I'm feeling some things that frighten me. That feeling is good. Feeling is good. Don't be afraid to dream while you're here. Most importantly, write it down. Now, when you write all of your desires down, like I say, you may end up with a lot of information on paper. It's important for you then to simplify those 9 pages of paper to concise one-sentence statements. In other words, you may have 7 or 8 different things that you really feel strongly about. Just write them down and simplify them in sentences, simple sentences. I remember mine, when I began to crystallize mine, I had a passion to see young people changed. Just a teenager, I had this passion. So I wrote it down. And then I began to think, how can I do this? I began to think, I can do it through music, because I had this natural gift of music. So I wrote down, I would write music specifically to attract young people. I began to simplify it. Then I said, okay, so then I will write music, and I will form a group that will sing music that will attract young people. And my vision began to get clearer and simplified. I ended up with this idea. I'm going to form a group that will produce contemporary Christian music to attract young people so I can tell them about God. I had it all on paper. And then the vision began to grow. We started having, I formed a group. We started writing music. Music began to attract young people. We had 4,000 or 5,000 teenagers in this same island coming together to hear our music. And we tell them about God, they got saved. I was 16, 17 years old when we started doing that. And then the problem started, what do you do with these young people? Because they weren't going to church. They came off the streets. So the vision grew. We had to form these relationships with these churches to send these kids to these churches. Now the churches didn't know what to do with the kids because the church, were not prepared. So we had to develop a whole new system of meeting on Saturday nights. So we formed this other little place called, a Crossroads Lighthouse, where we said, how about the kids meet? Because they had to find somewhere to go. And we started these coffee houses. In other words, as the vision is simplified, it begins to grow. Because your vision creates more new opportunities for you to solve more problems that are raised by those solutions that you already given. Your vision may start very simple, and it ends up being a conglomerate. I mean, today, our organization is worth, multi-millions of dollars, but it started with 7 people in my apartment. Just to solve a problem. There is a passage of scripture that is very, very simple but profound. Proverbs 19:21, my favorite verse. It says, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a man's heart. Vision must be captured. You ever heard these scriptures? Paul says, capture every thought. You ever read that? And bring them down to the obedience of Christ. In other words, don't just sit there thinking. Capture them. Bringing them to the obedience of Christ means that you compare them to the Word. And if it's in line with the Word, he say, hold on to that thought. No matter how big the dream is. Casting down imaginations and every high thought that what? Exalts itself against what you know about God. All the others, you capture. Why? That's him talking to you. So you get an idea that you're going to build a boys' school to help young boys in your city. Or you're going to build a girls' school to help girls. You check the Bible, see if that God's against that. If God ain't against that, you better start writing down your dream fast. That's your assignment. So I got this idea of robbing banks. Got this big dream how to rob banks effectively. You can compare it with the Bible, thou shalt not steal. Okay, so then that can't be God. See, it's not difficult to figure out God's will for your life. Are you with me? Yeah. Have a desire to be a multi-millionaire so I can be rich and go play golf and go boating all my life. To play with the Word of God. And no one gets, this doesn't fulfill the Great Commission. So that's not a vision from God. No one gets saved with me having $1 billion in the bank. Casting down imaginations and every high thought that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Then it says what? Bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of who? Christ. All right? Capture it. Number 2, simplify. Number 3, document it. Document means you write it down, put it in a form that you know that you can understand. And what your goal is to try and get your entire life's purpose in one sentence. Now that may take a long time to do, but it is possible to do it. You want to reduce your life to one sentence. Write that down. If I can ever get you to get that point, I'll be successful in this last session. Reduce your life to one sentence. In other words, you have to somehow identify your gifts and your talents and summarize them in one sentence to the point where you know this is who and what I am. This is what I bring to the world. This is what I give the world. This is what I offer my generation. This is me, and this is what they need from me. That's your vision in life. You got to capture that in one sentence. Next, you must communicate that simple sentence. Put it in a brochure. Make a plaque out of it. Put it everywhere you are. Talk about it. Talk about it to people. I told you earlier this week that people exist to help you, but they got to find you first. So you got to capture that. Then make a plan based on that sentence. A plan is your strategy to get to your vision. By the way, I learned something about planning. God doesn't plan for you. Next point, revise your vision. Notice the word revision has vision in it. Re means what? To go back. So a revision of your vision means you keep going back to check to see if you're on course. Because God may even adjust some things. He may even change. Don't be afraid to give God something to adjust. And finally, evaluate your vision. Evaluate your vision means that you keep judging yourself. Am I doing what I say I was born to do? Or am I getting off track? Few suggestions. Suggestion number one. Your greatest enemy is distraction. Suggestion number two. The greatest distraction is not bad things, but good things. The greatest distraction to your vision is not doing bad things, but what? Good things. Important lesson to learn. And finally, vision comes in phases. It comes in phases. It's fulfilled in phases. There's a term I use in my book. It's called phasal. I created that word. Vision is phasal. Phasal, P-H-A-S-A-L. It's phasal. What I mean by that is vision, God gives it in phases and is fulfilled in phases. What you're doing right now, you might not be doing in 10 years. This may just be a phase of the vision, a part of it. God expands it. In my book on leadership, there's a chapter I did on the purpose for leadership. Make sure you read that chapter twice. In that chapter, I talk about the fact that the greatest enemy of right is good. Write that down. The greatest enemy of right is not wrong. It's good. Satan knows you are too smart to do something wrong. So he'll basically focus on getting you to do something good. Because when you do something good, you think you're doing something right. You were born to find out what is right for you. When you find out what is right for you, then that's what's right for you. Everything else may be just good or wrong. So preoccupation with a good thing is no substitute for the right thing. Stay with what you're born to do. That means you should not accept every opportunity that comes along, even if they are good. Are you listening? Don't let people come into your life and change your vision to do something good with them. It's a statement I make often. Simple statement, but I live by it. Learn from others, but never become them. Learn from others, but never become them. It's important to learn from people. We don't want you to be like us, any of us, any of our team. No. We want you to learn from us. We want you to be yourself. That's the ultimate joy of life, is to be yourself. I have so much more to say to you now, but you could not take it. Are you happy you came here today? Anybody feel pregnant? Come on, man, say yes. Yeah, my brain is pregnant. And I will have delivering of babies. I believe that the greatest thing in the world for you to discover is yourself. What you're doing now is not all you were born to do. Your greatest enemy of your progress right now is your last success. I'm afraid of success. Successful events, I'm afraid of them. Because success can stop you from progressing. What you were born to do, is so much bigger than what you're doing right now. I don't care how great you think you are right now. Don't get stuck in that stuff. You're awesome. I say you're awesome. Some of y'all took a week off from work. I know that. Listen, you can have a great day when you go back to work. Just remember that job is not your permanent address. Yeah? Go back to the job with a good attitude now, okay? Tell them, enjoy me while you can. I know you can't pay me what I'm worth, but I'll be here for a little while. I'll exercise my gifts in your environment, and I'll use your materials to develop myself. Any questions, please? Let me quit. Yes, sir. Important to get questions here, so please listen. We'll leave together in a minute. Yes?
Can I ask you to evaluate my vision or my vision statement?
Yes. Let me give you a little suggestion here. If you have a vision statement already written, and you would like for myself and others in our team to take a look at it and critique it for you, then we'll be happy to do that. If you are a member of our association, that is one of the things you have access to immediately, our input. We can go beyond that. If you join our association, we will even offer you monthly tips in our newsletters that we will be producing this next year, teaching letters we call them, for leaders. And this will help you understand these things we're talking about in practical terms to check you on. You also have an opportunity for us to answer you personally. You send us your emails of your vision statements. We review them, and we can send you back our comments to help improve it, refine it. If you're not sure of how you want to do it, how it should be done, we'd be happy to help you. All right? I'm finished. That's fine. Okay. Oh, you want to put them there? Y'all can write that list down, too. That's the list of instructions. That list you want to teach, okay? So you better write that down. That's good stuff. So that question is important. Yes. Do you have it with you? Do you have one with you? Okay. So when you do it, you send it to me. Make sure you fill an application to join the association, and we can have an ongoing dialogue. Myself and some of the others, we'll be able to help you through all of that. Okay? Because we want everyone to make it to the top. That's what we want. We want everyone to make it to the top. And you are one of those people who deserve to be at the top. Yeah, yeah.
At what level do you have to join to have?
Really, it doesn't matter. You know, at any level. The minute you join the association, you have access to our resources. There are different benefits at different levels. We'll be talking about that tomorrow when we close out on our last graduation session. You'll have a lot of information about the association, so we'll deal with that. But right now, we want to focus on vision. Yes? And mission. Purpose. Very important, okay? I didn't get to that because this computer went off. But let me give you the three things. Write this down. Purpose. His question was, what's the difference between purpose, mission, and vision? Very important difference. Very important difference.
Soon as he was about to get the difference, it went off. Man, let me tell y'all, man, if y'all ain't, man, listen, if you don't have notes from today, man, listen, you tripping. I'm gonna just say that, you tripping. Man, this was a great, great, great lecture today, man. I mean, I gotta listen to this over and over again, man. If you came in late, if you was not listening, if you was doing other things as we do on these calls, listen, man, I encourage you on this one, go back. This is really good, man. I ain't gonna lie, this was really, really good. I'm not saying that just to say it. Yeah, this was some good stuff right here, man. I got about 40 bullet points of notes, man. We may have to do find a website where we can all just copy and paste our notes somewhere, man. This was a good one. So when we share today, if you sharing today, man, listen, come on in. Come on in. If you sharing today, come on in. This the one we need right here. So I see we got almost up to about 85 towards the midway section. I don't know if y'all start sharing it. I don't know if y'all start tagging people, but we almost got up to 90, maybe 40 minutes in. So again, if you all came in late, if you all came in behind, make sure you rewatch this. And if you was tuned in or listening from the beginning, but you wasn't kind of all the way tapped in, go back and watch this one. This was a real good one. He gave a lot of detail. He gave a lot of scripture, and he gave a lot of man. Why am I getting all these dang email things talking about? Hold on, y'all, 1 second. I keep getting all these emails. All right, go ahead and press the number 1 if you have something that you would like to share, though. Press the number 1 if you have something that you would like to share. Man, this thing is going off, man. All right. Man, I was in mid, man, my phone keep going off, man. Probably dang notifications. All right, let's go to brother Daniel 6X. Brother Daniel 6X.
Yes, yes, sir. I thought I was maybe second or third, but praise be to Allah.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I
No,
didn't
it's okay. Go ahead.
I didn't see that. Let's start with Sister Farrah. My bad, because she thought we skipped it yesterday when we didn't. So let's start with
There we go.
Sister Farrah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can everyone hear me?
You a little choppy, but yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my apologies for choppy.
Yes. Yeah, it's coming in really bad now. Are you on the Wi-Fi? Yeah, you may have to maybe get off Wi-Fi or something, but now I can't even hear you.
I'll come back. Come back to me.
Okay, let's go to Brother Maximus.
Switch.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, there was a lot that stood out. The self-conscious makes me think about self-improvement and being aware of ourselves in order to see our vision. Routine. I'm big on routine. So I was able to relate to the routine part because routine, helps you with time management and understanding of self. Basically, most of the stuff that what I got from it was at the end of the day is self-work, getting to know yourself and having that relationship with God. And then it was the part about hanging out with people that are smart. Oh, you can outgrow your friends. And for me, that's where I have a problem with, like, when people say you got to submit first before understanding, you know, he kind of brought it into aspect. What I was saying is that you got to be around like minds that will motivate, you can motivate each other. And one other thing, I think I got a lot of bulletins. I don't want to hold up. There was one other one. Friends are more important than family. Oh, the vision part. I'm gonna go back to vision. Sorry about that. Vision. When I was a kid growing up, it was like we read. We used to read because of the fact we couldn't go the places that the book and our visions were able to take us. But when we got into a place from reading and stuff, and the visions that we were developing from reading different countries and different stuff, and when we became of age and able to afford, we were able to go to those places because we had it in our mind. We had that vision, that faith and vision. And that's it for right now. I got a lot more, but I don't want to hold up. I come back around.
Yes, sir. Man, one of the man, it was a lot, man, but one of my favorite ones, he said the greatest enemy of right is good. Ooh, wee. Wasn't that powerful? Because it's so simple. You would think that the enemy of right is wrong. You would think that the enemy of right was bad, but he says Satan knows you are too smart to do something wrong. So he focuses on getting you to do something good. If you do something good, you think you're doing something right. Wow. So this is why it's so important for us to know what our vision is. Well, not vision, what our purpose is from God. Because everything that is good doesn't necessarily align with my purpose. Everything that is good does not necessarily align with my gift. So Satan, and I wrote this, he comes in thy straight path, right? He comes in what we naturally would do of good, of right. But now he can have us doing something saying, well, I was doing this. That's why I wasn't doing this. But did this have something to do with your life purpose, though? Did it have something to do with my life purpose, though? So somebody may call me and say, hey, man, we about to go do such and so and so. Hey, do you want to come do so and so and so? Hey, do you want to? And these may be all good things. But did all of those things align and move me much closer to my purpose, though? And I'm like, wow, how many people are being tricked right now daily because they are being distracted by things that are good, but they're not right for my purpose. Ooh-wee. And many of us get away. We look at people. We look at people who killing. We look at people who robbing. We look at people who smoking. Oh, this is some good stuff here I'm about to come up with. Well, it ain't me. It ain't me. It's God just gave me this. He just gave me this thought. What did he just say? Hey, God told me. It's an idea that I didn't think of, right? No, but look, we'll get down on somebody who's smoking. Man, you smoking your life away. We'll get down on somebody who's drinking. Oh, you always drinking. Why don't you do something? Man, why don't you do something? But then when you get down to the root of this, we both ain't doing our purpose. Yours is just masked. Masked is a hard word to say. Yours is just covered up by what appears to be good. But it's this right here is distracting you just like that blunt distracted me. Just like this drink distracted me. Just like me messing around with a hoe. That's distracting me just like what you think is good is distracting you too. So really, oh man, really, it's harder for those of us who are being distracted by good because it's easy to see that they distracted. Boy, you're doing wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. But see, it's hard because people may see what you're doing and not know that ain't got nothing to do with your purpose. So nobody is really there to give you counsel, to offer you counsel, to say you need to go to rehab. because it appears that you're doing. Oh boy, Ooh-wee. Boy, that's some good stuff there. Boy, that's straight from the God. That got to be from the God there. Man, that's good. So listen, I want us all today to examine our lives and say, hey, man, because I was thinking about that. I said, man, what is all this? Man, I do a lot of stuff. I need to analyze. Yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff, but is all of this, though, aligned with your purpose? Yeah, it may be good. It may help somebody's life. But what did I tell you your purpose was? Woo-wee. All right, let's go to the next person before I be fired up, boy. Golly, boy, he hit something with that one. Let's try Sister Farrah one more time. Sister Farrah, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well, Lake
Is
Salam.
that better?
Yeah, that's good.
So what stood out to me is when he said the key to finding your purpose is whatever makes you angry. He said something like that. I don't think I worded that word for word.
Let me give it to you.
But
Let me give it to you so you can. I think he said that whatever makes you angry, you was born in the world to solve. Think that's what he said.
Yeah. So yeah, what I got out of that was the thing that bothers you the most about the world. Allah put you here as the solution to that problem. That's why he placed it in your heart to do. You know, we are born onto this earth as an answer to someone's prayer. So whenever we are not fulfilling our purpose, whenever we aren't using our gifts, you know, you're keeping yours and someone else's blessing from them, you know, or the answer to that someone's prayer. Our visions are fulfilled. Another thing he said that stood out to me was our visions are fulfilled in phases. He said we are what I got out of that was we're in different phases of our vision. Everything happens at Allah's divine timing. You know, we want instant gratification. We want it now, but it may not be your time yet. You might be at a phase of your vision that is that Allah put you on, that is necessary for you to experience, to prepare you for the next phase, or to prepare you for that goal you're trying to get to. He also said, don't let people come into your life and change your vision. He said, learn from others, but never become them. And what I got out of that was basically in the teachings, they teach us accept your own and be yourself. No one can be you better than you. And you're here for a specific purpose that if someone else tried to do, it would not be the same. You know, no two people that Allah put here on this earth were made the same. Each and every one of us are unique for a reason. Yeah, that's what I got. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Ooh. Sister Sacred said, okay, while you analyzing all you do, cutting down on some of your good you do, don't think you can start doing the good of the power. Hey, I think this aligns with my purpose. I think this aligns. Let's go to Sister Shalon.
Ooh, this was so packed. Okay, so assalamu alaikum family. I wrote down, of course, so many, but I really pulled out and took in exactly what Farah pulled out. Whatever makes you angry, you were born to solve. That was the greatest one for me among them. I remember when the Me Too movement came out, I got angry and so angry behind that. That is what opened the door to my supreme purpose. I got angry at what happened to me in high school. And when he said your visions are the thoughts that won't leave you, what happened to me, however it ended up in the forefront of my mind and forefront of my thoughts, opened up a whole new world for me. And my thoughts of what happened to me keep coming back. It kept coming back. It still keeps coming back. And it opened up that desire for me to change that situation that's in the world. And I continue to get angry at it even to this day. It actually opened up for my supreme purpose to exist in my head. And my anger allowed me to even write my book behind it. So with him saying that, that was quite powerful for me. And when he said your greatest enemy is distraction, that hit me so much, especially when he said your greatest distraction is doing good, not the bad. So I have to not allow these distractions that come up that I'm pulling out of myself to stop me from my supreme purpose, especially with me being as angry as I am behind it, because what's happening is not just happening to women, to girls. I found out that there are men who are affected by this Me Too, affected by what is still prevalent in the world to this day. So I get angrier and angrier, which has me to know I have to just get out of my way. I know I'm in my own way. I'm not puzzled about that or unclear about that. I know that. So I have to figure out why am I allowing these distractions to not have me angry enough to really, really do something about it. My anger cannot just sit idle. So there's so much I got, but that right there is just it's power packed for me. So I'll come back with others if I come back around, but I'll let others go ahead. And I like, Brother Ben, when you said for those that end up coming off of mute, you're not really paying attention or listening. I really liked when you said that, because that's the fact.
Sister Shalai, you be having me rolling, man. But yeah, man, every time I hear somebody come off mute during the during the lecture, they be talking in the background. I'm like, come on, man, y'all supposed to be tuned in, checked in. But no, man, one of the things that another one of the things that was good that he said to me was that find a vision that imposes discipline on you. And I used to say this when I was in high school, but I didn't capsulize it, if that's the word. Like this, I used to say that basketball, because I knew what my purpose was, that allowed me to not be persuaded by people who was doing things other than ourselves. Now, I done did some stuff now that, but I knew that, man, if I do this, man, it's gonna jeopardize my my basketball career. Man, if I do this, I'm not gonna be able to play in the game. If I do this, something is gonna mess up what I believe at the time was my purpose. And it says that the vision imposes discipline. You may not have the discipline per se with everything that you do, but this vision is when it's so strong and it's aligned with the reason you were born. It imposes discipline on you. So even when you don't want to do it, man, when you find that thing I'm talking about that you born for, you do it beyond you being tired. You do it beyond you. You know what I mean? It's certain things, man, that when it's connected to your mission and your purpose, the reason why, if ain't nobody here, you will be doing this. If you made no money, you will be doing this. Man, that imposes discipline on you. So are we doing the very thing that imposes discipline on us? Have we found that vision, that purpose, that gift, not person? Because people die. See, I'm living for my mama. Then mama gone, now what? I'm living for my children. Children get shot. Now what? So now don't tie to no person. I'm talking about you tied to yourself and then God. So like, if everybody say I ain't messing with him no more, what is that thing that still gives you life, that still will impose that discipline on? If you haven't found that, man, let's find that. Let's find that, man. Cause that's where the real peace come from. This is what I believe people mean when they say money don't make you happy. Cause cause number one, shoot. Brother Nuri say it ain't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. Yeah. It's right up there with oxygen. Now y'all can act like money don't make you happy. Yeah, I know you want to be so righteous and all. Money don't make me happy. It ain't nothing but a piece of paper. Yeah, send it. Yeah, if it don't mean nothing to you, send it on over here. Oh, I can use it. I can use it. About right now. So yeah, so don't stop saying all that, cause you know it do. Yeah, let you be in a bad position living in your car and somebody say, hey, you just won $25,000. You go, ooh, thank you, God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. So no, it ain't that the fact that money don't make you happy. And money itself is, I know what we're trying to say. But what I believe is happening is there's a lot of people that are millionaires and billionaires, but they didn't become that way in their purpose. See, you can generate revenue by doing all kind of crazy things that's not fulfilling you. But when you find that thing that fulfills you, that purpose that fulfills you, man, that's where real peace and happiness come from. Whether if you have money or not, right? That is true. Whether if I got money or not and you living in that, you can be comfortable in that. But having a little money on top of it don't hurt now. It'll add a few inches to the smile now. So we're not going to play that game. But balance-wise, I think that's really ultimately what's being said is that once you don't have your purpose, once you don't know why you're born and you're not living within your gift, yeah, it won't keep you happy forever for sure. Because now I got all the money, but then now that don't wear off. You finally got some money, you got your favorite car, you got your favorite house. Okay, now you got so much money, you can buy whatever you want, but then now you're unfulfilled because I'm not living within the reason God has brought me here. And ultimately, submission to the will of God is ultimately how I get the best peace. So you may hear Brother Nuri sometimes, or even the minister say, we wish you God's peace. So you got peace, but then God's perfect peace only comes from us being in full submission to his will, not just our will. So, all right, let's go to the next person. Who we got next, Sister Randy? We got Brother Daniel 6X.
Yes, sir, brother. You might have to revisit this one a few times. There's so many gems in this. I'll start with that portion where he said that God buried the gift or the treasure of a thing within itself. And that's in the Holy Quran. Allah says within everything he created, therein lies the treasure of it. Reminds me of when Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. So that was powerful. Then he went to the point of the reason you broke is because you haven't found no value in yourself. So people don't think about you because you're not serving, you're not offering anything. So that ties right into these last messages that we've been studying, dealing with finding the divine purpose. I'm so glad we're on that because happiness would not be pursued except that we are doing that which we're created to do. Brother, you touched on something that I really didn't want to touch on because when he said doing good can be, I don't even know how you phrase it. It's so foreign to my mind the way he said it. But I always try to find something from the teachings. And as I heard the brother expound on what he was saying, I said, oh, one, we are taught that one, Satan always come in the straight path. He always come with something good out front. Then he interjects something. But also I heard the minister say in the time of what must be done, he said, doing good ain't helping the lady across the street. Doing good ain't this. Doing good ain't that. Doing good is doing that specific will of God for your life. So we can do good and good brings its own reward. We will get credit for doing good. Never think that. But the greatest of reward and credit comes from that which Allah created us to do to show forth his power within us. So that's how I was able to reconcile that, because sometimes you hear stuff, you be like, whoa, 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 whoa. What did he just say? But we got to listen. That's my next point. He said, prayer is when you're talking to God. Meditation is when you listen.
Mm.
And I know in the Holy Quran it says only those hear who listen. And Sister Ava talked about the value of listening in a lot of her writings. So I've been telling myself I need to get back into meditation because I talk a lot. I'm always, and if I'm not talking, I always got something going on in my ear. I'm laying down relaxing. Yeah, I have a video on of the minister, or I have the power call on, or I have something I'm listening to. But when do I be quiet
Mm.
and let that still voice from all this wisdom I'm taking in, when do I shut up and see where I'm supposed to go with it? Sometimes we listen because we trying to keep from doing stuff. We just keep listening and listening. We feel like just the listening is accomplishing something. No, you can eat too much. Be quiet and see what the God within is telling us to do. So Mother Tanetta talked about that still voice within that we gotta listen to, and really the only way to get that is to meditate. I'll stop right there, and inshallah I will come back around.
Wow. Yeah, he said pray for 10 and sit here and listen for 60 minutes. Whew. How many of us just sit and listen? How many of us man, that's something, man. How many of us struggle with being able to just sit in silence and just listen? Because my wife used to try to get me to meditate. Well, not try. I mean, I did it. But then I hear all these voices, man. I'm having conversations with myself, man. I just got it's hard. Then I might fall asleep, and then I end up not being able to hear nothing because I'm asleep now. So then it's like, man, you have all these different thoughts in your head, man, and you're telling yourself this, and you're telling yourself that. Did you hear that? What was that? Man, focus, man. You're supposed to just be not thinking about nothing. So it's a difficult thing, man. That's a task within itself. All right, let's go to Brother Will.
Peace, family. I'm glad to be here. Thanks again for the power call. It was a great message today, listening to Evangelist Munroe. He made me think about what the student minister, Nuri Muhammad, said in the lecture, I believe it's The Joy of the Sacrifice. And in that, he was talking about us having to sacrifice to get success. And so hearing Mr. Munroe or Evangelist Munroe say today that in our plan, we have to have discipline. Well, discipline is a sacrifice. So sometimes in order to be, not sometimes, but in order to be disciplined, we have to give something up that we would do normally in order to achieve a goal. Now, part of the stuff that stood out to me was he said, if you cannot see, it's because you're looking too much. So even as you just were stating, Brother Ben, when you said, hey, sometimes, I know for me personally, I'll be looking at so many things, or I'll be trying to do anything, trying to figure out a vision. And sometimes it'll get frustrating, but then just to have that discipline to slow down and to not look at everything, but be able to focus in and make sure that we're in alignment, submitting our will to do the will of God. That's when we'll get our true vision. That's when we'll find our true purpose. And then last point I'm gonna make is when he said our vision chooses our friends. And sometimes, when you are aligning with your vision, you won't be able to take everyone with you, even if that be family members, friends that you knew from way back when, or friends that you grew up with. Sometimes we can outgrow our environment. And that makes me think, well, what is my environment helping stimulate my vision for growth or for whatever? And I'll come back up because I know everybody wants to go. So thank you so much. Peace.
Man. I think about something when he says that what you get angry at, you're born in the world to fix. That's interesting because in order for you to, it's easy for you to just say, I don't like it and run away from it. And it takes character to say, I don't like it. And then I'm going to build up what it takes to fix it. Because it's like when you don't like a person, you're going to have to build something up to to help fix them, fix what you don't like. Because it's easy to say, oh, I just ain't gonna mess with them no more. That's the easiest thing to do. And I think about when I came into the nation and how I am as a learner. My wife was laughing at me last night because I was reading this book and it's a thick book. And I was in the middle of the book and she just bust out laughing like I'm walking around with this book in the middle like I done read it from cover to cover. But as I've shared with y'all, I go directly to what I need. I skip 200 pages. I'm just trying to read what I'm trying to consume. I ain't say I read all of it. I'm just reading exactly what I need right now. Some people, they read from cover to cover. But I'm also like that with videos. So when I came into the nation, I used to say, man, the minister got these 4 or 5 hour lectures, man. I don't maybe have time to read. Listen to all these lectures. You know what I mean? And really, because he done talked about so many different topics, really within a 3-hour lecture, but the title name may be one thing, but he touching on so many things. I said, man, I wish he had some clips. And that's how, I'll just say, I won't say for myself, I'll say Brother well, his name is different now. Well, y'all may know him as Brother Fontaine, said that I was, kind of spearheaded the clipping of the minister in short form. And now you see a lot of people doing it. But for me, I needed that. I needed because I needed to consume it in a 2-minute clip, a 3-minute clip. You know what I mean? I don't need the whole thing. Just that part right there where you discussing faith. Okay, just that part right there when you discussing God. That's the piece I was looking for based on what I was dealing with. And now now, man, all over the world, man, there's all type of believers doing that same type of thing. All praise due to Allah. Now I ain't got to do majority of it no more. But I was really doing it because I wanted clips, and then come to find out many other people obviously love to consume it that way as well because everybody don't have time. But that was the root of why I initially did it, because instead of me saying, hey, man, what's that lecture where the minister was talking about? I said, I wish I could just search it and that clip comes up. I wish I could search it and just that part comes up. And now we have it. So think about, man, something that you wish you had. So think about something that you don't like and just kind of fill it out and see, could this be a part of my purpose? So now I believe a part of my purpose. And I was going to ask that, man. Don't blow my head up now. Don't blow my head up. But what do y'all think? He said, what do people think about when they think of you? What do y'all think about? What do y'all think that one thing is that I just do really good? And listen, don't say, oh, you boy, you boy, you're so strong and tall. No, don't blow my head up. But for real, what do y'all think that thing is? Because I'm like, man, I don't know. Well, I kind of know, but it could be multiple things. But I wonder what that main thing is. And you ask other people as well who've been around you and who've been looking at you, what is that main thing of value that you get from them? Some people, they bring up a word and yep, that's them. Let me call them. What is that one thing y'all think of value? And then, when you go home or if you at home, ask somebody around you if you don't know or if you don't have anybody else to ask on social media like that. Man, what is that one thing of value that I bring? And when you discover it, sometimes I think some of us, somebody may tell us what our value is, but because we don't see it, we won't double down on it. Man, when they tell you, just accept it and double down on it, because what's so valuable to others may not be as valuable to you. What you do for others, man, that small thing, you may think, oh man, that's it. That's what it is. That's a little small. That may be the big thing that, man, that's what really helps. So once you discover it, double down on it, man, and don't depart from it, because it's easy to do it. Getting distracted by good. All right, let's go. Let's go to who's next, Sister Randisha. Let's go to Sister Yolanda.
Really, Brother Ben? Yolanda? Really? Praise be to Allah. Oh, okay. vision as Dr. Myles Munroe. He's one of my favorites because when I was a member at the City of Praise, he used to visit the church a lot. And I need to go dig up his cassette lectures that I have. I forgot what the title is, but I know it has something to do with vision. So she about to go down there and put that Walkman on after I listen to this over tonight. But nevertheless, vision, he mentioned, make yourself of value. Don't seek success. And I tie that into when he mentioned in the 10 components of writing your vision. And Brother Daniel vegging off of him. Meditation is the most important aspect of prayer. We pray 10, give 60 so we can listen. Because sometimes I used to think, okay, I done made this prayer. Now, how long am I going to have to wait for some manifestation to start happening? Like, what's really going on? Yeah. Do I gotta wait forever? Okay, that's exercising my patience. And it's just not gonna fall out the sky in my lap just because I done prayed for a thing. It's not gonna say, bam, here I go. This is what you asked for. I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah, it don't happen like that. So in Joshua 1:8, I think Brother Will had mentioned that. Self said, go read Joshua 1:8. Self said, okay. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night so that you may be successful to doing everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. So Self said, go to the footnotes because you don't always understand something. So I went to the footnotes. And many people think that prosperity and success come from having power, influential personal contacts, and a relentless desire to get ahead. But the strategy of gaining prosperity that God taught Joshua goes against such criteria. He said that in order to succeed, Joshua must, 1, be strong and courageous because the task ahead will not be easy. And Myles Munroe mentioned that all true visions will be tested for authenticity. So there's that challenging thing. Life will be a test to prove that it's authenticity. Get used to challenges. Okay? Everybody ain't gonna go along to get along. Just get used to somebody like, bam. Here they gonna throw a rock and trip you up. And you're like, what the world? I'm doing something. In my opinion, I'm thinking it's gonna be good for our success and so on and so forth. But then here come a rock, a pie hole, or whatever. Somebody that said something about you negative on social media, and then you done got all off your course. So let me stay the course, okay, go back to number 3. Constantly read and study the book of law, God's word, to be successful. Follow God's words to Joshua. You may not succeed by the world's standard. I gotta look like Barbie. They done made a Barbie and Ken movie. I know I don't have to look like that. I'm gonna look like what God gave me to look like. I'm gonna use this. If I want, do my hair. Look presentable. Be modest. Okay, go back. Stay focused. You may not be successful by the world standards, but you will be a success in God's eye. Yes, I'm performing for an audience of 1. Let me be clear. Okay. And his opinion and rewards are more important than everything the world can offer. As long as God think I look good, I'm look good. I'm the best thing since sliced bread, even though it may be some others, but that's the attitude that I'm gonna possess. How strange it sounds today to equate success with obedience. For many, success means controlling others. For Joshua, it meant being controlled by God. I want to be controlled by God. I want to be led by God. So I need to surrender my will and do the will of the gods. So in my obedience and a lot of these points that Dr. Myles Munroe has touched on, what vision can do, discover it. Choose your future, your friends, your library, how I use my time. And while I'm on this power call and I listen to it again over and over at night, and I had more notes. So I'm like about to go on my 3rd composition book. Oh my goodness, how I'm gonna be able to keep up with all this stuff. But nevertheless, this gives me the courage, the will, the umph, the everything, because some things gonna come in my way that I ain't even planned. That ain't even in my plan. But nevertheless, I have all these prescriptions here. Let me go in here and see what medicine I need to take so that I can continue to persevere. Let us keep striving. Let me keep striving. And if I go too far off, please reel me back in. Throw the hook, throw the time clock or whatever. Bring me back in because I get to going and going and going. But I thank you all for letting me present. I may come back around. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes, ma'am. Nevertheless, well, she gonna hit you with that, boy. She got, but nevertheless, okay. Man, that's some good stuff, though, man. Listen, another thing that stood out for me, he said, poverty is a result, not a problem. Poverty is a result, not a problem. So in order to fix the poverty, we have to fix what is causing the poverty. And he said most people are poor because they don't know who they are. Woo! Once we find out who we are and the value that we bring, he says, if you want to be successful, don't seek success. Seek to become a person of value. So many of us are chasing money. Many of us are chasing a bag when we should be chasing the skill set that lies within us, the talent, the gift that lies within us that we can communicate to many other people so they can say, this is so valuable that I'm willing to give you what's in my pocket for the value that you have. That's all that's happening. When we're driving, we don't want to pay for gas, but we know, hey, my car needs gas. So this gas is more valuable to me right now than the $10 that's in my pocket, so I'm willing to exchange it for the gas. But many of us, oh man, this is good. See, the gas station got a big sign up there. See, they have done a great job expressing what its value is. Here go Texaco. Here go 7-Eleven. Here go X. What is it? X time. Man, I don't even pay attention no more. I just know where the gas station is. But do people know what? Do people know what they can come get fulfilled from you? Do they know what? Do they know what you offer? See, when I come to your page, do I know what you offer? See, when I drive into that gas station, I know what they offer. Oh, they got that 89, 87, and 93. I know what they offer. I know what I can get from them. Some of us, it's not that we don't have value. Some of us, it's not that we don't have a gift. It's just that we have not communicated enough what our gift is so that they know what they can stop and get. Ooh-wee. And then how you gonna advertise it if I don't even know the value I have? Ooh, ain't that good? I like how he said, simplify your life. You gotta simplify it. If I was to say, hey man, what do? You should be able to say, this is what I do. This is who I do it for. So that the people who needs it knows that, hey, I can come to you. How many people are walking by you daily? Let's just visualize this. Go to the park. Imagine if we went to the park, the mall. How many people are walking by you that have a problem that you can solve? But because they don't know you can solve it, you done missed another opportunity. The opportunity don't walk by you. Boom, boom. But all these people needed 5 people in here needed your ebook. 6 people in here needed your course. 7, 8 people in here needed a one-on-one from you. But because they don't know that you do that. So this is why when you set up shop, lemonade stand at a football game in the summertime. This is why it's not a hard sell. I'm thirsty. You're in front of me. I see a sign. I see the drinks. I'm buying. I'm giving you my money. Because I know what my problem is. You're presenting a clear solution. Some of us, our problem is that we're not presenting enough a clear solution. I posted about it once or twice. You think everybody's seen it posted once or twice? No, it gotta be consistently. McDonald's still ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. They still hitting us every day. We've been hearing that since we was younger, but they find ways to let us know what they offer. Oh, listen, when I was younger, y'all probably won't understand this unless you're from the DFW area. Y'all know if you done got hit in a car wreck, if you from the DFW area, what comes to your mind right now? And if you're not from the DFW area, come here in the morning, put it on K104. You gonna hear, girl, told you. Girl, I just got hit. Girl, you better go to IJustGotHit.com. See, they letting us, since I was young, they been saying the same commercial. Since I was about 5, 7 years old. So they letting you know, hey, this is what I do. This is my offer. This is my value. Many of us, we just have not gotten it out there enough times because, one, we don't even know. We haven't learned how to communicate properly, concisely, if that's even a word. I know my wife gonna let me know if it's a word because that's what she do. See, that's what she do, girl. She's a magnificent English teacher. Diction, pronunciation. She says it's not often, it's often. See, I ain't never heard that. Ain't nobody never told me that it's not often. Now, I still don't believe it, though. As long as I done been alive, I know it's often. But she tells me it's often. The T is silent. See, so certain people got different stuff. So you got to know. But yeah, man, you got to know how to pronounce it, man. You got to know how to get your gift. First, discover your gift. Believe that it is a gift. Know that it can help people, and then communicate it as much as possible. And watch how that change our life. Yeah, watch how that change our life. Somebody done inboxed me personally, talking about she right. No, she not. All right, let's go to brother Hakeem. Brother Hakeem.
How you doing, brother? Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
First I want to say, brother, when I do think of you, because I know I saw you post that and you asked that, but when I do think of you, the first thing I think of is you are a healer. And I think of Brother Ben tells them about the minister. Your intro to your video that's exactly what you are, my brother. You are like a big brother to me, but also digital real estate, things of that. But you carry so much things, but you are like a brother to me that I've never met, but still someone who saved me. But I just wanted to say that to you. But within the notes, man, let me open my notes. The things that stood out to me is when he said to grow and to change are two different things. Because I've grown, but I haven't changed. You know what I mean? And I took that as, don't be so easy to find forever. Because as he said, there's still those same guys playing dominoes in the same location. Don't be using the same old tools, meaning those guys are sitting there playing, using the same dominoes, having the same old conversations. They don't grow. And just because you're being so available doesn't mean that you're being busy. Just being available for anything won't really have you going towards your purpose. You be available for everybody else's purposes, and to help, solve everybody else's things and build everybody else's dreams. But to grow and to change is two different things. You got to be able to actually change and to learn from your mistakes. And I can definitely speak that within myself. Going into the other thing, what he said is vision is the next best thing to time traveling. It's able to see the unseen, venture out with risk taking and courage, hoping for something beyond yourself. Vision makes you believe in a better world. Both of those things intertwine with me because, man, when I was in a place where, I really was just lost. And it's funny because when I say this stuff, it makes me sound like I'm old, even though I'm not gonna say I'm old, but I've just learned a lot, bro. And I wasn't always talking like this. I used to just be like, man, I don't care. I don't care if I even make it home. I don't care. I used to be young and reckless. Like, I really don't care about stuff. But now, my main factor is I need to make it home. My main factor is I need to, I really have a purpose. I really understand all the things that I've done, I've definitely changed. And then my whole vision, my whole vision of me really believing that it had to be more. Because at one point, man, I used to just be smoking, playing the game, had all the money I needed, had all the weed I needed, had my own spot. I could have whoever, whatever, whatever. But something inside me was like, man, it's got to be something more than this, man. Like, this isn't what it's all about. Like, it has to be more than just, you know, paying bills and just having everything. Because I had everything that I thought that I wanted, but it's something just wasn't right, man. Like, it was something just itching my soul. Like, man, it has to be deeper than this. Like, it has to be deeper than this. But my vision and my thoughts of like knowing deep inside that it has to be more than, so just like he said, it was always a whisper in me, like, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. I will always hear like, it's more than this, bro. And at the time, I didn't know, because I was still, distorted and smoking and drinking and all that stuff. But I was still here, and I was smoking to block it out, and just keep on playing the game and all that. But my vision and my faith kept me going. It kept me believing in the unseen. I didn't know what it was, but what I am now and what I have become, listening to the power calls, reading all the books, becoming the man that I know I am now, being a better father to my children, speaking how I'm speaking to others, being a servant to others, and just being who I am now. This vision is the man that I knew that I wanted to be. These are like the whispers that I would hear when I was so-called doing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, and when I wanted to do it. But that just goes in the tie with that, the vision is the next best thing to time travel, because I am now living in the prayers that I once asked for. I'm now receiving things that I once prayed for, that I asked for. And that's another thing we got to realize. Some of us are living in things that we pray for. So can't be so hard on ourselves, and can't be so, thinking that nothing ever happens. We got to understand what we pray for and make sure that we stay on task and be obedient to what we said that we'll sacrifice in order to get these prayers. And last thing is, don't become a jack of too many trades and master nothing. Sometimes I try to do too many things. I want to do it all. I literally want to do it all, because I don't really like to be told anything, or, I got trust issues in people, but, I definitely, something that I need to work on. So I'm just saying that for myself. I just need to just learn how to just depend on other people. But again, just having a vision, believing in myself, and, don't be too visible. Don't be too easy to be accessed. Don't be seen in the same places, in the same location, using the same old tools, because just because you being seen and being viral for something, just for anything, don't make it good, because it may not be part of your purpose. Appreciate you, brother, and salam alaikum.
Wow. Walaikum salam. Praise be to Allah, man. So I think, man, and I've seen people say this, that I simplify things and make it easy to understand. And over the years, people said I was able to do that with the minister. Not that I was trying to. I mean, he breaks it down pretty good to me. But I guess makes it relatable, or whatever the case may be. And honestly, I think that comes from me just being slow. Man, no, I'm laughing, but sometimes people can say something and I really don't get it. And I have to, can you explain that? Like, explain that. And I gotta understand it on a third grade level. And yeah, man, sometimes, man, it can be like, man, how you don't understand that? It's like, but when I have to learn it, I have to learn it in a way to know how to explain it. So if I have not internalized it and know it to a level where I can break it down, I feel like I don't understand it. Yeah, I feel like I don't understand it. So the way that I'm hearing things, I'm hearing it saying, I may understand it, but then it's like, no, but how can I break this down to really give it to somebody who dropped out of college? Like, that's how I receive information. So like, I don't, so I got to break it down. Don't give it. So when certain people give analogies and certain stuff like that, metaphors, I want you to tell me what it means so that I can create an analogy that makes it easier for the next man to understand. That's just how I filter things in my mind. That's just how I am. So I be needing it straight so I can come up with the example. If I can't see an example, if I can't see how that can be, I'm trying to cross-reference it. If it ain't clicking, I don't get it. And if, I don't get it. I'll be like, yes, sir, but I don't get it, man. So I think that's something so maybe a bad thing. What appears to be bad, oh man, you don't get nothing. That probably is my gift because the way that I gotta get it is a real slow way so that I can, because I believe, man, and maybe y'all have noticed with my content, I don't try to be deep. That trying to be deep with bigger words, and see when you look inside of the metu, and then you go inside of the Emmanuel gland of the mind in the of the ears, this is what's sending the vibration down your spine up through the frequency of the earlobe. Like, bro, that's too much, bro. That's too much for me. I get it, the science of it, but that's not how I learn. I don't get all that. Yeah, I don't get all that. So I need to be able to break it down, man, to how we talk. You know what I mean? And that's how I learn. That's how I grow. And maybe over time I get better. I throw some bigger words up in there. Cause I used to use the word behoove wrong. Yeah, I just found out that and y'all know how I can exaggerate in content. I use the word wrong than a mother. I'm trying to think about what I said. I said, man, cause behoove I think it means, I was using context clues. It means that it will benefit you, right? That's what behoove mean, right? I used it in the wrong way. I think I said something like, man, I was so behooved. And I said, and I said it hard too, like I knew the word. Woo! Boy, somebody said, man, that ain't how you use that. I said, see, here I go. That's what I get, trying to add bigger words. Didn't use the wrong. Done use the word wrong, boy. Golly. So yeah, man, I think that's a part of my gift, man. Just trying to just keep it simple. My thing is to let me try to take a complex concept and let me try to make it, let me give it to you. Let me spoon feed it to you. That's what I think I do good. All right, let's go to the next verse. Let's go to Brother Curtis. Brother Curtis said, man, I'm a little afraid to speak. Not in the power call, man. Come on down, let us know what's on your mind. Brother.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh yeah, I almost passed out, brother Ben. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm still over here breathing hard. But I kind of caught the end of the lecture, but I caught a lot of key points, you know what I mean, when he was talking about praying and don't get what do you say? Don't see, I'm nervous right now, brother Ben. So that's why I didn't want to get on.
Nah,
man.
You good. Breathe, man. We all deal with it.
But he said, don't get stuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of in that place right now. I just recently got out of jail in September, and I'm just trying to find my way back. And I just figured, why not, try to get my ex and make a name for myself and try to, help my people, you know what I mean? So that's what I pretty much, you know what I mean? And the time is now, you know what I mean? A lot of the time we I myself included, I sit back and I procrastinate and I play games, you know what I'm saying? But I got a lot from the lecture, but you know what I mean, the time is now, and then hopefully we get it together soon, you know what I mean, and myself included. But thank you, brother, for letting me speak. I'm gonna speak more, you know what I'm saying? I was a little bit nervous just now, but thank you for letting me speak, brother, and assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Man, thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for your transparency. See, because that's what we need. We need somebody who can say, man, I just got out of jail. See, because now you done marked the date now. See, everybody done heard it. January 23rd, 2024. Bro just got out of jail. And look, he could be out of jail saying, shoot, boy, I'm finna go live it up. He said, nah, I'm finna get on this power call. Man, I'm finna get this. I'm finna put this knowledge in my brain. So now you done documented this. And in 2 months, when you start speaking more, 3 months, when you start speaking more and you giving feedback and you say, hey, man, now I done accomplished this. Oh, now I done did this. Oh, now we can see, man, look at where that brother started at and look at where he at now. Oh, man, I'm excited for the growth now. I'm excited to hear you say, see, now you're going to be an example for somebody who say, I ain't never been to jail. Now you're going to come in and say, hey, this is a living example of what you can do if you just come in and you focus, you get your mind right, you stay amongst a good community, you get that word in you. So, man, you about to be a testimony in about 2 months. Yeah. So I appreciate you for coming on in here and sharing on it. And you came in on the right one, too. I mean, now, you came in late. Go back and watch it from the beginning. This is the perfect lecture for where you at, too. You start right here with the beginning of this here, how to write your vision. Oh, man, in about a month or two, man, you're going to be coming on giving one hell of a testimony. So let's go to Dr. K. Man, I keep getting all these notifications.
Good morning. So I'm going to be the first one, Brother Curtis. I'm going to say thank you for getting on and sharing, because I'm on the power calls every day, and every day I'm nervous to get on and speak. And I've been on I've gotten on before to speak, but it has been it's very, very hard to do. So you just inspired me, Brother Curtis. I've been sitting here all this time like, I'm going to get on. No, I'm not going to get on. So anyway, so thank you for that. You inspired me. And then Brother Ben, for me, your authenticity, man, is just so amazing. I mean, even like when you you're able to talk about your mistakes and how you said this wrong or how you did this. And I think that's the thing that I just admire about you so much, is that you're just so authentic. You don't try to be anything other than who you are. And it just makes it easier for other people who struggle. Like I know me, myself, just having that confidence within myself, watching you and hearing you and seeing just how real and how just authentic you are is just so inspiring. But just as far as the things I heard today, I mean, I have pages and pages of things, but it's interesting because I was it may have been about 4 years ago. I was talking to a mentor. I had a mentor I was talking to, and I was talking about how I struggle so much trying to figure out my purpose and my vision. I'm always all over the place with it, right? But I'm always pouring into other people and doing for other people and helping other people. And she said to me, I think you do that intentionally. Like, that's where you're comfortable. You're comfortable doing for other people. So it's not that you have a hard time not doing it. That's where you are the most comfortable. And so you actually gravitate to that, because by gravitating to that, it keeps you from having to look within yourself because of your own fears. So you gravitate to help other people and you look at it as doing good, but really it's a fear because you're afraid of really looking at you. So by helping other people and pouring into other people, it keeps you from looking at you because of your own fears. And it could be your fears for not feeling like you're capable, or not, or a fear of the unknown, or a fear of maybe actually being, and I use the word successful carefully, but actually being able to be successful. So it's just interesting when I think about that. And when he said about the preoccupation with a good thing doesn't mean it's the right thing. And I always do that. I always find a way to do good for other people, but I don't take the time to do for myself. So, this whole message, man, it's just been so inspiring, along with, I think about what Brother Coach Khan talked about. And then the one more thing that was so interesting, eye-opening for me, is the part where he says the desire to do something that keeps us coming back is your vision. whatever makes you angry was actually what you were meant to solve. That's your vision. And when I think about those simple things, there is a particular thing that I keep coming back to that I'm like every time, or it makes me angry, but yet I'm not really pouring into that because I feel like maybe I'm not ready, or I feel like, oh man, I need to build some more. I need to learn some more, or I'm not financially ready to do that. And where that's actually the thing that I should be pouring into. So I have so many more things I could say, but anyway, thank you again, Brother Curtis, for inspiring me to jump on. And assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Man, that's good. The brother said that God hid everything that a thing is supposed to become in itself. Ooh. And that directly correlates with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan saying self-improvement is the basis for community development. So many of us are running away from ourselves unwittingly, but that's where everything is. Even when we get mentorship and coaching, the solution and execution is going to come from within self. You're just trying to find someone who can help you really see yourself, who can help you go within yourself, because that's where it is. That's where the reason you don't do something versus the reason you do something is within yourself. You can get all this knowledge. You can buy all the courses, go all the conferences, but the real solution is in here. So what we really doing is striving to hear something that convicts the God within ourselves. The change from within ourselves. Because once we leave that conference, he going to his home and I'm going to mine. That's what's happening. When I go to the mosque, my student minister going to his house and I'm going to mine. After that, it's on me. So hopefully I was convicted by something that was stated, convicted by something that was presented, an allegory, something that connected with me that make me say, now I get it now. From this day forward, I'm finna. Because a lot of us know we just got to be reminded, say it a different way, say it harder, say it softer, whatever the right ingredients is. But ultimately, it's trying to touch something from within us because that's where the change has to come from, and that's where it's going to last. So who's next? We got about maybe two more because I got a meeting at 11:30. Let's go to Brother Maximus. Wait, have we heard from Sister Shelby? Because you said we on second round. Sister Shelby already spoke? Let's go to Sister Shelby first. We're going to get those who already spoke. Who haven't spoke. Sister Shelby, you ready?
Hey, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Today's message was very, very powerful on so many levels. And honestly, it doesn't even matter what stage of the journey that you are on. It still was a powerful message for all levels. What stuck out to me is a part of what personal lessons going through losing all my friends through outgrowing them or either them passing away. It led me to have to consult with God and myself more often when we have friends and a lot of people around us, and maybe not even a lot of people, just a couple. We tend to ask those around us before we consult with God and our higher self. So this is being like 3 years now. We in 2024. So been 4 years, close to 5 years, that I've pretty much been in what you would call a wilderness period. And it's pretty much changed my way of thinking, the way I act upon decision making. I pretty much use the meditation, like he was saying, to get get answers more so than getting them from other people. Not to say that it's bad, but it has allowed me to trust myself a whole lot more. It's like we think that people around us might know better than we do, but a lot of times, like Dr. Myles was saying, is it comes back to your vision. And even though people might love us and support us, they might not be able to see your vision. So when you bounce ideas off of them, or go to them for advice, they might not give you what you need simply because they can't see your vision, because it's yours. So I just want to encourage everybody that may be going through certain parts of the journey to embrace it for what it is. Like I said, I'm more of a sound decision-making person. Being a mother, I have 6 children ranging from ages 22 to 8. And until this period, I found that I may have thought I was making the decisions, but a lot of my decisions were based on what other people thought for me, whether it may be my parents or friends, because my friends were around my parents' age. Like, a lot of people are telling me I have an old soul, but again, my friends were older, like in their 60s, and I'm in my 40s. So I would look to their advice because they have more experience and have been around longer. And that's pretty much it. It was a whole lot, and a lot of other people have already touched on a lot of the other things that really stuck out, but that was the main thing. This part of the journey, I would say, has been more of the hardest thing to go through, rather than some of the other parts. But again, it has changed me in ways that I didn't even know were possible. So that's pretty much it. Just want to encourage you guys to keep going and find ways to stay consistent. Oh, one other thing. I was always a helpful person. I'm always, even with all my children, I've always taken people in, helping this person, that person, that person. And like Dr. Myles said, the good thing, a lot of the good things that I was doing, they were taking me away from my mission and my vision. It wasn't that I was doing anything wrong or bad. I was actually doing good. But I can look back over my life and see where I spent months, sometimes even years, pouring into other people's visions, and it taking me totally off my own path and off my own vision. So just be mindful you got to ask yourself, is this what God would have for me to do? And does this align with my mission and vision? You might ask yourself that so much that it begins to be looked upon as you're doing too much, but it's not. It's necessary, because like I said, it can be minutes, it can be days, hours, years, where you find yourself in a totally different direction than where you were supposed to be going, simply because you were doing good for someone else. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, Brother Ben.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you all for tuning in this morning. Make sure tomorrow morning you all invite somebody to the power call, and we'll see you guys 9 a.m. Central Time. Assalamu alaikum.